Hello and welcome back to my channel Cactus. If you are new here, I'm Becky Kwanga. Thank you so much for tuning in. Guys, this is the last episode in this Airbnb series. I know, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what am I going to do next? I've been getting quite a few requests from people wanting to host on Airbnb or are already hosts on Airbnb. They've been asking if I can do a series for hosts, something that's probably what I'll do next, but I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. What do you guys think? We'll see. Anyways, in today's episode, I'm going to be sharing with you my top 5 culture traits, Airbnb culture traits that you need to embrace as a guest on Airbnb in order to keep your 5-star ratings, which are extremely important to have. If you have not watched any of the other videos in this Airbnb series, please head over to my channel and have a look at all of the videos over there. It's really important to watch them. After finishing this series, there is no way you will be anything else other than a 5-star guest on Airbnb. So check them out. Check them out. To my 39 subscribers, thank you so much. You're laughing. You know what? One day I'm going to be at 100k subscribers. So you'll keep on laughing. You'll see. To those that like my videos and engage in the comment section, thank you so much. It means so much. And for all of you who've been sharing my videos on your social media, thank you a ton. It's really helping pump up those numbers. I'm aiming to get to 100k subscribers. Hey. No, but I'm aiming to get to 100 subscribers. So keep sharing, keep posting. Thank you so much. We will get there. Woohoo! Right, enough begging. Let's get into it. Number 1, I will be talking about refunds and payment safety. This isn't exactly a subject about a culture trait, but as a host, I've faced so many incidents around it that I thought it's actually really important that I put this here and put it first, because some of you did not get to the end of the video. Naughty. Immediately you book a property on Airbnb. Airbnb holds your money for 24 hours before giving it to the host. So in other words, the host does not get your money until 24 hours after your check-in. So there's one guest, and I've actually already talked about them in episode 2. If you haven't watched that, watch that. The link to the video is in the description box below. And I also talked about them in one of those episodes for If You're a Guest from Hell. All the links to those videos are in the description box below. Check them out. So anyways, this is the guest that called me 13 times. Yeah, our worst guests ever. So they thought that I was Airbnb. And that somehow, after they had made an online payment, I somehow had access to their card and I somehow took their money like really quick from their account. His wife had somehow gotten my number from, a different platform, I'm guessing, and had asked if she could make her payment to Airbnb outside of the Airbnb app, and I told her no, and I've already explained in last week's video why I do not like people paying outside of the app. So check that out if you haven't already done so. So I told her no, and I told her to use her partner's card because we're not accepting payment outside of the Airbnb app. Well, as soon as they made their payment, I'm getting a flood of phone calls. Our money has already disappeared from the account. Is it really safe? Why did you take the money so quickly? Isn't that what happens with any online payment? Or is it just me? The Airbnb online paying system is safe. Do not worry about it. Yes, your money will leave the account immediately, but there is room for refunds, and let's talk about that now. If you happen to face serious issues upon your stay at Airbnb, try and contact Airbnb within 24 hours of your check-in. If you cannot do that, then you will have to use their resolution center. It's through the app. To solve your issue. Note that they will ask for proof of why you need a refund. Make sure to take photos, make sure to have all of your evidence ready because this will be needed upon the time you're asking for a refund. Also, make sure to communicate through the app and not through WhatsApp or through text, as the Airbnb will refer to your communication during your claim. Now, you can only get a refund through what is called Airbnb's extenuating circumstances policy. Anything outside of that policy does not constitute for a refund. The extenuating circumstances policy is basically anything that is circumstances basically that are outside of your control, or unexpected circumstances that you could not control. So anything outside of that extenuating circumstances policy will not constitute for a refund. So we had a guest book with us, yes. And we knew she was booking for a night with her lover. As you continue to be a host on Airbnb, especially if they're staying, especially if your Airbnb is within, your property and not like in an apartment that's far away or something like that, you kind of get a gist of your guests, and you kind of get to know who's coming for a night, who's married and having an affair. Anyway, we knew it was for a night with her lover. So, Papi didn't show up. So about an hour into her check-in, she writes to me and says, hey, I can no longer stay because my guest has had to be rushed to hospital. He can't come, so I have to leave. And on top of that, I would like my refund. Yeah, I knew she was lying. Yeah. Again, she was a new member to Airbnb. And remember what I told you about in episode 2 about guests who have newly joined Airbnb? This is why I don't like booking them, because they give you stress. They don't read, they don't know, they're still learning Airbnb, and they think that, they can get away with a lot of things. But what they don't know, some of us have experience. So listen, if you're new on Airbnb, just watch my second episode, 5 things that you absolutely need to do before you book on Airbnb. It will save you stress as a guest, and it will also save the host stress. Okay, so anyway, back to the guest. I knew she was lying. Number 1, first of all, we have a strict cancellation policy in place, all right? So all hosts on Airbnb have 6 cancellation policies that they can choose from, and they go from, moderate to extremely strict. And we've chosen strict to avoid incidents like this because they are many. With all of these types of cancellations, none of them allow for a refund after you've already checked in. It's like a hotel. A hotel will always give you a window as to where you can cancel and still get your refund, or maybe you cancel within a certain amount of time and maybe you get 50%, right? But as soon as you've checked in, unless it's like, an emergency, whatever, you're not getting a refund. And that's the same on Airbnb. So I don't know what she was thinking. Secondly, Airbnb will always ask you for proof, like I've already mentioned. So I told her, contact Airbnb, they will sort you out, right? So she contacts Airbnb, and guess what? Airbnb asks for proof of the hospitalization of her guest. Well, Airbnb phones us and says, hey, your guest has gotten in touch with us, so we've asked her for proof. We're waiting for the proof. And guess what? The proof that she sent was not real. It was pretty much fake. I don't know what she sent them, but obviously Airbnb could verify it. And guess what? She didn't get her money back. Guys, listen. If your lover cancels on you, you ain't getting your money back, honey. Okay. Plan before you book so that you don't get inconvenienced, all right? And guess what? Expecting a refund upon check-in is really unfair because you've booked and you've blocked other people from booking. So what makes you think then that you deserve that refund just because? Now, if she was saying the truth, right, and her guest was truly in an emergency, then yeah, we wouldn't mind her getting 100% of the refund. But when we know you're lying, honey, plan well before booking on Airbnb, okay? And remember that you cannot get a refund unless it is under the extenuating circumstance policy, okay? Number 2, leave a review. I've already spoken about this in episode 2, but again, this is a really important culture to embrace on Airbnb. Your review will let people know if the host is good or bad, if the place is accurate to what the host has said it is on the Airbnb listing. So leave a review. And then there's also a section where you can send the host a private message, all right? So in that message, you can thank them, if they were amazing hosts, or, it's basically a section where you can, also point at a suggestion if there's something that the host can work on, but you don't really feel the need to complain about it publicly, all right? So please embrace that culture of leaving reviews when you book on Airbnb. Number 3, communicate any issues that you are facing to the host during your stay. Do not suffer in silence, all right, and then leave the host a horrible review when you didn't even give them a chance to rectify the issue or see how they'll handle the situation. Issues are inevitable, all right, especially, from a big hotel to the smallest hotel to Airbnb, issues will happen. Tell the host the issues you are facing. If they don't do anything about it, rate them badly. Leave them a bad review. If you see that they're doing everything in their power to solve the issue, then rate them fairly, okay? Number 4, stop bothering hosts. I've already spoken about this in the second episode. Again, watch 5 things you absolutely need to do before you book on Airbnb. I've also spoken about this in the episodes of If You Are a Guest from Hell, all 3 of them. Check them out in the description box below. They'll be really helpful. So most properties will have a manual, all right? The manual will say where everything is, how everything works, what to do in case of an emergency. Those manuals will actually even have recommendations of where to eat, where to shop, your nearest hospital, emergency lines. Yes, hosts do tend to take the time to create all these informations for you. That's not English. Anyway, read that manual and stop bothering the host to ask, where is this, where is that? We had a guest book, and again, the reason why I'm repeating this in this episode is because this was recent, okay? She was an amazing guest, by the way. Excellent guest. She got a 5-star rating, but she annoyed me. At around 8 p.m., all right, she asks, so checkout is 12 p.m., right? And at this time, you're already winding down. And I'm like, okay, the listing description already states it's 12 p.m., but I will answer her. Yes, checkout is 12 p.m. Next. Whose profile do I watch on Netflix? There's no guest tab. The manual says that you watch Margaret's profile, but it's okay. I will tell you again. You can watch Margaret's profile. Yeah, that's the right one to watch. And the volume? I'm not able to increase it. At this point, I'm screaming. Oh my gosh. I was done and I was like, okay, how do I tell her politely but firmly to read that manual? So I was like, all right, remote controls are in the pink basket as stated in the house manual. The house manual is by the way, okay, during check-in, I had already told her, here's your manual, okay? It has all the instructions to where everything is, how everything works, and all of the suggestions that you will need. This is why I was getting pissed, okay? Because I'd already explained what that manual was about. Anyways, read the manual, guys. Save the host trouble asking them lots of questions, please. Just read that manual. If they don't have a manual, okay, then you have every right to get in touch with them. Number 5, treat the Airbnb as if it is your own home. I've already spoken about this in all of the episodes of If You Are a Guest from Hell. Please watch them, guys. Please. Because they are so important as they give you information as to what ticks off clients, and I'm on work mode here, what ticks off hosts and what gets you a terrible rating. So please watch those videos, all right? So I'm in a group, an Airbnb group for hosts on WhatsApp, and they're over 100. They're like about 170 plus, right? Mostly Kenyans. And we had a recent discussion about, you know, our worst guests, okay? I mean, hosts in there are forever complaining, you know, about guests that are just annoying them, all right? And all of these 170 plus hosts have unanimously, did I say that correctly? Unanimously agreed that Kenyans are their worst guests. Why? Number one, stealing of mugs, stealing of towels, stealing of gadgets or cables like HDMI cables. Guys, why are we stealing? We had guests steal our tissue paper, bin liner bags. I mean, guys, can we stop the stealing, okay? 2, booking a house for parties, especially when the host has said this house is not for parties. I've had, like, there's so many hosts who've talked about having to wake up at 1 a.m., 2 a.m. to have to drive all the way to where their Airbnb is to stop a party because neighbors are complaining. I mean, my gosh, guys. 3, using bath towels to wipe dirty shoes and dirty feet. Bath towels, you know, the towels that you're supposed to use to wipe yourself after you've had a shower. Yeah, people are using those towels to wipe dirty shoes and dirty feet. Yawa, guys, yawa. So, please do not wipe babies' bottoms directly with towels. Please do not scoop up poop. That's my nephew, sorry guys. Please do not wipe up poop. Please do not use your towels to wipe hair dye. Please do not use bath towels to directly wipe off makeup. Come on guys, we are better than this, yes? Number 4, damage to electrical items. For example, you know, putting metal or non-microwavable dishware in the microwave, or boiling tea bags directly in the kettles. Guys, it stains the kettles. Or putting buttered bread in the toaster. That messes up the toaster. E, asking for pathetic demands. This one, oh my God. Someone books an Airbnb and expects their sheets to be changed every single day for them, as well as to get fresh towels every single day. Guys, if you want that type of service, go to Hemingway's, okay? As I said in episode 3, part 1, Airbnbs are not hotels. Stop expecting crazy demands, okay? Guys, please share this video, okay? Share this video, share the other videos, because clearly if people knew how to behave, hosts would not be complaining. There's a reason why hosts are complaining. Please share these videos on your social media, because clearly we need to improve on our behavior, isn't it? Actually, now that we're here, let me talk about the most uncouth things that we have faced from guests, or let me say the most uncouth things guests have done at our Airbnb. So we had some Brits. Oh my God, Brits, you guys are naughty, man. You guys are naughty. Don't come for me. You guys are naughty. Even your neighbors complain about you, akina Spain, bakina nini. They're complaining about the way you leave trash on the beach and things like that. You guys are naughty. So we had some Brits and they went on, I guess, a muddy adventure, and I guess they came back with lots of mud on their shoes. So I was cleaning my room and that was the day of their checkout, by the way. They were planning to check out that afternoon, and we were going to have guests checking in that evening, right? So I was cleaning my room, okay? I put a mop bucket outside and I went inside to get something. When I came back outside, the mop bucket was gone. So I was like, hey, I know I left a mop bucket here. Anyway, so one of the guests must have seen me looking for my mop, so they ran over to me. They're like, oh, sorry, we took your mop. I hope you don't mind. Our shoes were so muddy, so we had to clean them off. I was like, okay, that's no worries. You have muddy shoes? We have a mud room. It's okay, just come and wash your shoes, right? So they came, they washed their shoes. We're all happy, right? Upon checkout, we said goodbye, blah, blah, blah. They were gone. We walk over to their side of the garden. Mud everywhere. These guys had scraped the mud off their shoes on the pavement, on the grass, everywhere. And we had guests checking in that evening. Also, they had smoked in the rooms, and our property clearly states no smoking in our Airbnb. I was livid. I was like, if they had only asked, do you have a tap where we can wash our shoes? I would have shown them the mudroom like ages ago and all would have been okay. So we had to spend so much time washing off the grass. Can you imagine having to wash grass? And we had to spend time washing mud off the pavement. Our second uncouth incident has to be the guest that ruined all of our towels. And I spoke about it in last week's episode. So if you haven't watched it, go check it out, honey. It's in the description box below. Yeah, so towels were used to wipe baby's bottoms with all the poop, whatever. That was not coming out. Yeah, that was a pretty uncouth guest. Number 3, I think I would say we had a group of ladies come stay with us. They were really sweet, by the way. Great group of people. But one of them left with our face towels. And then upon checkout, they didn't wash their dishes. They had left a pile of dishes in the sink. Guys, Airbnb culture, wash your dishes. It is rude to leave dishes in the sink. Number 4, I already spoke about the group of guys that basically booked our Airbnb for a party. Yeah, that was pretty uncouth, as well as the fact that they brought 2 unregistered guests and also smoked shisha and actually had the audacity to leave their shisha pipe in our house. Last but not least, our worst guests were the ones that I've just talked about, the ones that called us 13 times, the ones that thought I was Airbnb and that somehow I had stolen their money. So I should probably tell you about these worst guests, all right? So I've already spoken about how she called and thought, yeah, we had stolen their money, whatever. Now they arrived really late, okay? So again, strike 10 at this point. So I was like, hey, welcome, karibu. And they're like, we're going to check out the place first. I was like, whoa. And trust me, it was like that. I'm not exaggerating. It was like, we have to see the place first. I was like, in my head, you guys are rude. Well, guess what? Even if you don't like the place, there's nothing that can be done. Hello? So I check them in, all right? I show them around. They like the property, of course. Again, the husband sits me down and he's like, before you leave, I need to ask you a question. I'm like, oh God, what is the problem now? He's a lawyer, so he used these really big words that I didn't understand. I'm sorry. It sounded something like, what is the proposition of the something and the palapa? Basically, he was saying, why did you take our money so quickly? Is this a safe thing? I was like, what the hell? It took 5 minutes for me to understand what he was saying. And so when he finally understood that I'm not Airbnb, he was so embarrassed. So they began squabbling, husband and wife, in front of me about the card and the money. And I was like, I am out of here. I already explained in one of the other episodes how they left their Airbnb and got locked out and didn't spend the night. If you've missed that story, check it out in my other videos. Mind you, we had agreed you are doing a self-checkout. Self-checkout means I don't have to come check you out. Just simply leave the keys on the counter, close the door behind you. Thank you for staying with us. Goodbye. And we can say our goodbyes on SMS. We'll see you next time if we do, right? So we had agreed for self-checkout. Well, I get a phone call really early in the morning, all right? And it's the wife. And I'm like, are you serious? Are you serious? You have troubled me all day and all night yesterday, and you want to start troubling me again in the morning? She calls to tell me, my husband would like to see you. What? My husband would like to speak to you. At that point, I was like, you know what? Did we not agree for a self-checkout? What exactly is the problem? What is it that he cannot tell me over the phone? And she was like, my husband would like to speak to you. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to pull out my African card, okay? These guys, I could tell, were the guys who tend to respect the older generation. So I was like, I'm bringing my mom. And guess what? I'm gonna go down in my nightie. I am not going to change. This guy is going to know that he has pissed me off. So both myself and my mom went down in our nightgowns. We were both mad at this point because my mom knew how much they had pissed me off the night before during check-in. So we go downstairs and he's busy, he'd had to come back because remember they had left stuff. If you haven't watched the video, watch it. They had left stuff in the Airbnb. So he had come to get the stuff and he was putting it in the car. And you could tell that proud look, I think he was ready to, I don't know what he was going to do. He comes, he turns around, he sees my mom and he freezes. And the look on his face softened from this hard, I'm going to blast you off, to this respectful, soft smile. I was like, yes, my plan is working. So my mom was like, yes, how may we help you? And he could tell we were pissed and I was so happy. Anyway, do you know what he had summoned me for early this morning? He had summoned me to ask, can we book outside of the app? This is after already telling the wife why we did not agree for people to book outside of the app. Clearly that didn't enter her head. And I was like, this is something that he could have asked over the phone. Why? Why do you have to summon me in the morning to ask if you can book outside of the app? And mind you, what if we had agreed, right, for him to stay in our place without booking on Airbnb? Don't you think they would have bothered us? The fact that they didn't spend the night at our place because of their own fault, but don't you think that we could have gotten some drama for that money? Aren't I glad that I insisted that they pay within the app system? Anyways, this time it was my mom who did all the talking. We did not agree for people to book outside of the app for your safety and our safety, okay? If you damage something, if you steal something, if you do something illegal, right? If you book outside of the app, we cannot get our money back from you. What if we are bad hosts? What if we do something wrong? You will not get your money back. So no, we will only accept for people to book inside or within the Airbnb app. And the whole time I'm like, yeah, man, tell him that. Anyway, so he smiled and left. I have never been so happy in my whole life. Needless to say, during the review for Airbnb, their rating wasn't that good. Obviously, they didn't leave us a review. I don't care. In the review, Airbnb asks hosts, would you book this guest again? So hosts have the choice to say whether they'll book a guest or not again. What do you think I said? I said, hell to the no. So guys, that is it. We are done with the Airbnb series. Thank you so much for being with me on this journey. And if you haven't watched all of them, now is a good time to catch up. Simply head to my channel, all right? And just watch all of them, okay? Please share these videos on your social media platforms. I believe that they will be really helpful to people who are booking on Airbnb, whether they're avid users or, whether they're new users on Airbnb. So I'm sure you've learned, a thing or two. So how much more will people learn when you share them on your platform? So thank you. If you haven't yet subscribed, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Please give this video a like if you liked it. Please comment below. I know I would love to just engage with you guys. So leave me some comments and let's have a chit chat, okay? I'm still thinking of doing a series for hosts or people who are interested in hosting on Airbnb. So do you think I should do that, or do you think I should do something else? Let me know in the comment section below. I hope you've enjoyed all of these series. I hope you've had a blast with some of the stories that I've been giving you. If I do not post anything before Christmas, I wish you a Merry Christmas. I wish you a Happy New Year. Let's wear our masks. let's be safe. Let's pray this COVID situation ends quickly because I am annoyed and tired, and some of us just want to hang out because it is so boring and I am over it. Okay, see you next week. Okay, maybe not next week, but I'll see you at some point, okay? All right, bye-bye.